Everything is done right here in this little garage. When you start out with just the shell of a car, not only do you have the body, the chassis has to be altered, and the engine, and the transmission, and then you have to wire it, paint it, send it out for upholstery. It takes quite a while, a lot of hours, but you have to love it. It's a love of work. My name is Don Blake, and I'm Car Wise. This is my 1951 Mercury I completely customized in my backyard. Of course, it's made up of about 10 different cars. The engine is a 350 Chevrolet, which is very popular in these kind of cars because they're small engine and they fit. And it's got a Chevrolet transmission and a Chevrolet rear end. It has a 72 Nova subframe under it, so you have nice modern suspension, so the car can run down a highway and keep up with today's traffic with no problem. When I started, everything was acetylene welding. Now we have MIG welders and TIG welders to shape metal. I still shape metal over my knee or bend it around a telegraph pole, because I don't have a lot of this equipment that the high-end guys have. I do everything with a dolly and a hammer. I never got out of the 50s. Oh, growing up in the 50s was the best. I used to buy all the hot rod magazines and custom car magazines. The first car that made an impression on me was probably a Tucker. I never seen nothing like it. That really impressed me, and I just got into cars after that. That's good for now.
Come on back, Steve. Come on back. Come on.
How many cars me and him cut in half together?
Yeah, Don will be so talked out. If bullshit was concrete, he'd be Route 80.
I met Donnie about 10 years ago.
We've been friends for a long time. I don't even know how long. How long, Donnie?
15 years. We drove our cars to Indiana to the James Dean run. Right.
We go to all different shows in a way together. Then we come over here and hang out and see all his beautiful work he does. This is my 32 Ford Coupe.
This is my 51 Ford.
This is my 32 Ford sedan.
I have a 1950 Ford.
This is my 56 Ford. Me and Donnie built it in 1959. And this one here is a clone of the original car.
Learned a lot from this guy right here.
Naturally, I have my favorites. Anything from the 35 up to 68. I like everything smooth, and I like the work to show, not the glitz. People appreciate the work that was done to it. The retro cars that the car manufacturers are building today, I like. I like the Mustang, I like the Camaro, I like the Charger. They could make them identical, but they're retros. They shouldn't be identical. Of course, the performance today is 10 times better than it was. I did meet some of the builders from the 50s. George Barris is one of them, big builder from California. Gene Winfield actually gave me an award. He picked my car as his choice car at a big car show. I read about him when I was 15. 50 years later, I get one of his awards, which really was a thrill for me. General trophies, I really don't collect them anymore because you'd end up with hundreds of them as the years go by. I've met Chip Foose. He came to a car show, I was there. That was quite an honor for me. We spent about an hour with me talking about California cars. He also sketched a quick picture of my Mercury right here. Those are the fellas that I really admired. So I was at a show in Delaware with the Mercury, and I got a line on this 39 Ford Coupe. So I went to look at it. I purchased it, and now this is my new project. Started with the hood. The hood, what we call pancaking. You cut the whole hood in half all the way around. Take the top half off, and then you take inch and a half. I took an 1.5 inch section out of it, just in the front, and it tapers back, and then that makes the whole hood taper towards the front. Then I flared the bottom so it meets the grill better. This is stock grill. I just made this piece here, and this will be all chrome bars, and this will be chrome plated. And the bumpers, actually, I designed the bumpers. They're 57 Thunderbird. Front bumper tips from a 57 Thunderbird, and I fitted them into the fenders, and then I put this round rod all around it. So it's like, we call that Frenching. The roof has been chopped 2 inches. We call it chopping. It's actually cutting it down. What I do is I just cut it here and here, take the roof off. I take a 2-inch section out of it, bring the roof back down again, and then weld it all up. And the rain gutters on this car were all rotted, so I took them off, and I made my own rain gutter out of this rod. It's just to make it flare, to make it look nice. And the doors, these have the old hinges. The hinges are out here like this. I eliminated them. I put a kit. You can buy a kit, and they call it hidden hinges. And I'll show you what we did on the inside here. And I mounted this so that the hinges are flush on the outside, and the hinges are like a modern car are on the inside. This is what we call mocking it up. I mounted my handle here, and it's all cable operated. So you can see it works nice and smooth. And it'll be electric from the outside, so this is how I mounted the solenoid with the cables going up. And that also would work like this, see? To open the door, I put skirts on the car. I like the skirts. It makes the car look lower. And I flushed them, which means that they're going to be even with the fender. When this is completely done and painted, the skirt will be even with the fender. The taillights are actually 1939 Lincoln Zephyr taillights. You can purchase them. That's an aftermarket product. Works very well. And the rear bumpers are the same as the front bumpers. It's from the 57 Thunderbird. Front bumper, I just turned it around backwards and then cut them and fit them into the fenders. Okay, this is a test pattern that I do to get the idea of the color. I like to use stock colors off of regular cars. A lot of fellas go into the candy apple colors. I always use a stock color because if I do get a scratch or a chip, it's easier for me to spot it in and blend it. This is actually a Corvette color. It's called Orange Mist Metallic. I have 2 years invested in this car now. You know, it's not like a job. It's not like somebody, you bring it in the shop and 2 years later the car goes out, it's finished. You know, you're doing it part-time at home, and you're looking at 5, 6, 7 years.
You can appreciate the workmanship because I know how long he worked on them and the patience and hours. He can take something with metal and make it into whatever he wants. Whereas today everything's done by machine and you don't find these people anymore.